Oh,
You okay?
I just ran over my own foot
Ooh,
with my office chair.
it sounded like that noise.
That's the noise one makes when they run
I mean,
over
yeah, the noise
whenever
that
they
came out of your mouth is what I
run
meant.
over
Yeah.
their own foot.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
All right. Well, are you ready to do this? Wrap up the
Let's do
season.
it.
Welcome to the Greatest Lists podcast, a show about music and lists. This season, your hosts Jason and Eric are counting down the top 25 guitar solos of the 80s and the top 25 guitar solos of the 90s. Think your favorite made the list? Tune in and find out. Take it away, boys.
Welcome back to season 2 of Greatest Lists, a music and talk podcast featuring lists of the greatest songs of all time. I am Jason, your host for this episode, and joining me, as he always does for each episode, it's my co-host, Eric. Hey, Eric.
Hey, can't get rid of me, can you?
Cannot get rid of you. No. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm feeling a little weepy. I think I may shed a couple tears during this episode.
No.
I love this song so much.
Oh, yeah.
Tears of joy, that is. All right, we're going to get right into it, man. We have made it to the top 5. And our next pick is coming up here for the top 25 guitar solos of the 90s, a song from the 1991 album by the same name. At number 5 on our list, No More Tears by Ozzy.
Behind the music.
Our spotlight today is on guitarist Jeffrey Philip Wielandt, or Zakk Wylde if you prefer, best known as one of the lead guitarists of Ozzy Osbourne, and the founder, lead guitarist, lead singer, songwriter, and producer of the heavy metal band Black Label Society.
Yes.
Zakk started playing guitar at the age of 8, but didn't become serious about it until his early teenage years. At the age of 14, he worked at a place called Silverton Music in Silverton, New Jersey. He actually grew up in Jackson, New Jersey, where he attended Jackson Memorial High School and graduated in 1985. He stated that he often played the guitar almost nonstop between coming home from school and leaving for school the next morning, and then would be completely exhausted during school the next day. So he was a bit obsessive, as we've talked about some of these other guitarists too.
Yeah.
Steve Vai. So Wylde played locally in his band Stonehenge. Then later he auditioned for the lead guitarist and also co-writer for Ozzy Osbourne. He was hired in 1987 to replace Jake E. Lee as Ozzy's 4th guitarist. Ozzy's first guitarist, Randy Rhoads, remains as one of Wylde's foremost influences on guitar playing.
Man.
In January 2006, Wylde was recognized at the Hollywood Rock Walk of Fame, and basically for his successful career as a musician and his contribution to the music industry. The event was open to the public. Many rock celebrities stopped by, including Ozzy. Also in 2008, Wylde appeared in the music video game Guitar Hero World Tour as a playable character.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've ever done that before.
I've never played that, yeah.
He becomes unlocked upon defeating him in a specially recorded guitar battle and completing the Black Label Society song Stillborn.
That's amazing.
So yeah, you can jam out to him if you're still got your Guitar Hero guitar laying around. Wylde has gravitated towards a particular 1981 Gibson Les Paul guitar, which has become known as the Grail, with his bullseye paint scheme, which he has pretty much for all of his guitars. He actually lost the guitar in 2000 after it fell from the back of a truck transporting equipment as he was traveling between gigs in Texas. Rewards were offered to anyone who had the information about finding the guitar, but Wylde and the Grail were reunited 3 years later when a fan bought it at a Dallas pawn shop and saw the initials ZW carved in the humbucker pickups. And then he contacted Wylde's former webmaster there, Randy Canis, to arrange its return to Wylde. Grateful, Wylde gave the fan his signature model in exchange.
Must be nice.
Yes. Nice to have a signature model just laying around the house.
Just laying around, yeah.
Let's get personal.
All right, I was somewhat late to Ozzy. I didn't listen to any of his full albums, really, or even Black Sabbath's albums until like the late 90s in college and even early 2000s during my... I have this era, this 60s and 70s rock phase that I went through in the early 2000s that I went back and started listening to a lot of albums, Led Zeppelin and The Who and Black Sabbath. So anyway, I've enjoyed all of his hits, mainly listening to classic rock stations, you know, Crazy Train and all the Black Sabbath songs like Paranoid and Iron Man over the years. When the No More Tears album hit, I mainly missed the title track for some reason, but I was sucked in when I heard Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that music video and, of course, the song too. And I had heard No More Tears, but it wasn't really until the early 2000s when we were living in Atlanta and the local station 96 Rock played it in heavy rotation. And it has since usurped my love of Mama, I'm Coming Home as my favorite all-time Ozzy track.
Nice.
I really, really enjoyed this song. But what's your kind of background with Ozzy and Black Sabbath?
I started listening to Ozzy when Bark at the Moon came out. That video where he becomes a werewolf. That was heavy rotation on all the video shows. I started listening to him. That's when I discovered Ozzy Osbourne and Jakey Lee. But after that, a friend of mine turned me on to Randy Rhoads. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when the first album came out with Zakk Wylde, it was incredible. That dude. And now that I know he was 20 years old when he took that job, 20 years old, and played like that. That's incredible. He's just.
It is.
Yeah, but I've been a fan of Ozzy Osbourne since. Well, it started with Bark at the Moon, but after I heard the back catalog, I love Ozzy Osbourne. I probably shouldn't, but I do.
We all say that.
Yeah.
So what about Zach? Have you listened to some of his other projects?
I'm a fan of Black Label Society. I actually have seen them play live. It's brutal.
Oh, cool.
It's a brutal show. But yeah, and I follow him on TikTok, and he'll every once in a while he'll post a video of him playing one of his solos, just him playing one of his solos, and he's ridiculous. And if you compare the way he looks now to the way he looked on the first Ozzy album, I mean, he looked like a child on the first album, and now he looks like a biker who's about twice the size. But
long blonde hair.
Yeah,
he had
pretty boy, no shirt on. He's 20 years old.
Now he's got that. He's got that huge beard, and it looks like he belongs on a Harley.
Yeah, he's
basically.
He looks mean. He's a funny guy though. He's posted some other videos where he's playing this little toy drum set, like the kind you buy a toddler, and he's sitting behind it playing along with music and just beating the hell out of it, and just he's like 4 times too big for this drum set, and he's playing it just to be goofy. But yeah, he's a funny guy, but God, he's such a good guitar player. He's so clean and so technical. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I haven't followed him really at all, in current years outside of Ozzy.
Right.
And just going over to YouTube and watching some of his, basically just discovering a lot of his music. Man, yeah, he can just wail.
Yeah.
The breakdown.
Okay, so I love the solo to this song. The lead-in to the solo is really everything to me. Right at the end of that, just piano interlude in the middle of the song. It's so great. And you start hearing these seagull-like sounds. I think that he's using the guitar with the strings, and then he starts playing those epic bends, man. Just the drums build, and then he just starts picking that guitar apart. I mean, it's so good. The end note, when it echoes is great. The bass line, so you get to the end of the solo, that bass line comes back in, and you're like, wait, the song's starting over again. I mean, it's so epic. It's so epic.
Oh, yeah.
I would really direct anyone who's interested in watching him play to find his playthrough on the Riff Hard YouTube channel, RIFFHARD. He's got that one in. He's got the Mama, I'm Coming Home solo. Well, he plays the whole entire song just instrumentally. No.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that.
No vocals. Just incredible, and it sounds like he's in the studio, man. I mean, it's just note for note, and you get to see all the guitar work throughout the song. But if you're gonna listen to this song or watch the music video, the music video has an edit, so you got to listen to the full album version of the song.
Yeah.
And oh man, I just love his little interludes throughout the verse that you get, just a quick little riff here. And I didn't realize until I'm watching that Riff Hard video that he's switching back and forth with the finger slide, you put over your finger.
Yeah.
So like one riff he'll use it, and then the next riff he doesn't.
Yeah.
So he's like switching back and forth with just his fingers and then using that slide.
Yeah.
And then,
ridiculous.
Oh man, I mean, he shows you that he's epic, and the strings and the keys in this song too, that adds so much depth. Ozzy's vocals are great. They get some echo on them at some points, and there's some other little added effects, and then just Zach, and then with the little slides with the bass throughout, you get that little and just. Oh man, it's I love this song so much. And then how the guitar and the bass play together with that little dun 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 dun, riff you get throughout the song. Man, I could definitely listen to this one 24/7. I love No More Tears so much.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of that solo is that right before that note that he holds out at the end that echoes off into the distance.
Yeah,
that little run that he does up the neck right before that note. It's just it's so cool sounding. That's my favorite part of that solo is that little run.
All right, well, that's our number 5 solo on the top 25 guitar solos of the 90s. Zakk Wylde and No More Tears. Some bonus songs for this episode. Well, we've got to play it. We've talked about it. We'll play Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Yes.
Because it is a great song.
Yeah.
And it's a fun solo in that song, too.
Epic solo.
The second bonus song is one I just discovered as I'm, scrolling through YouTube. And it's basically Zack's solo music. He's the artist for the track. It's called Lost Prayer.
Oh, yeah.
His 2016 album, Book of Shadows 2. He's got an amazing voice. You'll hear it here. Very distinct and deep. And the guitar work on Lost Prayer 2, really top notch. I mean, just everything you would expect from Zakk Wylde. And just going through the comments on YouTube and how much that song has affected people since it came out. I mean, it's pretty epic. So go check out Lost Prayer here in a few minutes. Along with Mama, I'm Coming Home. So you'll hear those if you're listening to Spotify Premium. You'll get the entire song. If you are just a free user, you'll get a quick little 30 seconds or so that'll make you want to go out and listen to the entire song. And thankfully, we've got those song whip links we always tell you about in the show notes that will connect you with the songs in your favorite music app. YouTube Music, Apple, Amazon, anything outside of Spotify, really. You can get connected to with those song whip links. If you like the show, obviously subscribe to us, leave us a rating in your favorite app, and help us and help the Retro Network, which we are under that umbrella too, by going over to Patreon, patreon.com/the Retro Network, and support us at just $5. You get your name in the show notes for greatest lists and pretty much all of our shows over there on the Retro Network. And you get some bonus podcasts as well, and you can talk to me and Eric like we've been mentioning over there on the Slack app and talk music to us or whatever you want to. Eric will take over our hosting duties for the next show, our number 4 selection.
Yep.
Which will get us out of spring right into summer, man. Summer's coming. So thanks for listening to Greatest Lists, and we look forward to continuing our list of the top 25 guitar solos of the 90s on the next episode.
You've been listening to The Greatest Lists.